Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, please smash that subscribe button. It really helps this channel to grow. Let's get started. So I want you to put in the comments what you think of when I say identity crisis. That's it. That's what I'm asking you to do. So in today's video, I'm going through a high-level view and perspective on identity crisis. This is going to be sort of more of my take on it. So when I think identity crisis, I think someone who has an identity but they don't necessarily align with it, feel that it suits them, or they question whether their identity is the identity that they should have. Now, there are many reasons someone might have this, but I'm going to be focusing on a race identity crisis as opposed to necessarily a gender identity or something like that. And this is from personal experience and speaking to other people. There are certain reasons why this may come up. Now, I've seen online that a lot of people like to blame parents for this. On the one hand, I would agree, and that may be where, for example, you have a mixed race person. Of course, all my perspective is from a mixed race perspective, but you have a mixed race child and the parents may either be separated, so they're only raised with one side, they may be together, but they may only sort of align or associate with one side, but it may be where the parents haven't shown them both sides of their culture. They may have maybe raised them to be one or the other race, and this can sometimes lead to a child questioning where they fit into the world. Now, the other side of why I don't necessarily blame parents, and this is because a parent or parents or a family can they can tell that child their identity until they're blue in the face, but it means absolutely nothing when they go outside. And the reason why is society itself and people in society have their own interpretations and views on what it means to be a certain race, and society loves to box people. That's just facts. We've seen that regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of sexuality, regardless of ability or disabilities. Society loves to place us in boxes as if this will make everything easier to understand, easier to digest, and easier to just live. But it doesn't. It makes things worse. Why? Because the second someone comes across someone who doesn't fit neatly inside a box, everyone loses it. And everyone's like,
whoa, what's happening? What's happening? You are not aligning with these boxes. Where do you go? System malfunction.
And that is where we have the birth of identity crisis. Why? Because the family is saying you're one thing, but society is telling you you're another. Yes, it's quick and easy to blame parents, but also blame society and the views people like to reinforce in society when it comes to where people are placed. Now, another sort of thing that feeds into identity crisis is this thing of representation. When you don't feel represented, or you don't see someone who looks like you in the media, in the magazines, in stories, anywhere, how can you identify with something that you never see? So this is again where people then question, well, if I can't see this race, but I can see this race, I know that this race definitely exists, then does that mean I'm this one because I look more like this one? Or am I this one, which everyone's telling me I am, but I'm not seeing represented anywhere? You then question your identity. You question where you fit into this world, where your place is. And then when you get onto that is then a slippery slope down into this identity crisis. And then suddenly everything feeds into it. And by everything feeding into it, I mean, for example, you go to the shop and you can't find products that align with your hair. You go to makeup, but you can't find shades of foundation that fit your skin. You go to all of these places, you go to buy tights, but you can't find tights that fit your skin color. All of these things are what then feeds into the identity crisis, and it is like feeding a beast. The more you feed it, the bigger it gets and the worse the problem becomes. So this is just my perspective on what I think of when I hear identity crisis. Like I said, this is not me talking about my personal journey, but I did want to give my perspective on what I think of when I hear the words identity crisis. And like I said, please do put your comments down below. What do you think when you hear identity crisis? Are there things that you may think of that I missed? Please put them below. Let's start a conversation. Ready? Please do smash the like and the subscribe button. It really does help this channel, so please join the family. And as that brings us to the end, you know how I'm going to end it. As always, stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye everyone.